Yeah.
Howdy, bitch.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Welcome to Coming Up for Air, an introspective podcast. I'm your co-host, Jaxon.
I'm your co-host, Brendan.
And today we're talking about generating purpose. This is a topic Brendan picked out. We'll kind of get into why later, or kind of just, talk about it. But it kind of...
Because I hate my life.
We're talking about floating, finding your way out, calling yourself out, and then setting consistencies.
Wanting to jump off a bridge.
But I think first, let's hit a check-in. Brendan?
Yeah, I thought that's what. Okay, I'll just make sure it'd be like that. I wanted to talk about if you obviously are in the Twitch world, or you watch Twitch or stream, or you've heard of the term swatting. And if you haven't, then the term obviously is, you have no idea what it is. Swatting is basically like when someone has pinpointed, through your stream, obviously people who stream with a face cam and shit like that, obviously they give off details of their room and shit like that through the face cam and stuff. So there are, obviously some weirdo ass people who somehow triangulate where, based off of your room, the lighting, it could be the smallest things outside, people's window, the setup of your fucking,
or they track your IP,
or even your social medias and shit like that. If you're a big streamer, obviously it happens to you. People really don't usually spend the time doing it to smaller streamers because there's no point to them. People do it just to fuck with bigger streamers, you know what I mean, and kind of just
so when you get the SWAT team called on you.
Yeah, literally you have SWAT team busting down your door, ARs pointed at you, no questions asked, and it's a very scary moment, you know what I mean. It's a very fear-inducing, probably very traumatic time to go through. And as of recently, a streamer, Aiden Ross, has been swatted I think 3 or 4 times within the past month.
Ludwig got swatted a month ago.
This shit is crazy, dog. And on one of the streams, it went viral because even on stream, he was he heard the sirens outside in LA, and he basically he was oh, I'm getting swatted again. He was I don't know who keeps fucking doing it. He was bro, but I don't know why you guys keep doing this to me. Why do you guys basically intend on putting my homies
life's in risk?
Life's in risk, because he was I have a security guard that has a gun for security purposes, and if they see a gun on him, they're not gonna ask any questions, especially if they're getting called for a different reason. He was you guys don't realize what you're doing with my life and my homie's life. He was why do you guys keep doing this? This shit is not funny. And what's it called, Kai got swatted on stream as well, who he just got streamer of the year at the award show.
Yeah, streamies.
Yeah, which was crazy. Obviously, I mean, he's number 1 right now, so I mean, it only makes sense. Yeah. And even XQC gave him a little shout out when he got his award.
Crazy.
Yeah, which is wild because XQC don't really fuck with nobody.
Well, he actually does fuck with Kai. It's more of that he's been number 1 for so long.
He has to show the respect,
Yeah,
it's
he just doesn't admitting that he's not number 1.
Yeah, but yeah, it's cool to see their cross streams and stuff like that. There was a video where Kai he basically pranked XQC while he was on stream, and he was bro, he's I just got arrested. He was I can't really talk long. He was but my bail's gonna be $20K. XQC was that's it? He was bro, I got you. He was we got this. I'm gonna get you out, bro. Dude, he was let me know where I gotta send it. I got you. He was oh, bro, we got this. We're okay, bro. We're gonna get you out. You're gonna be fine, bro. And then you see on stream, he's he's looking at chat. He's thanks, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. He was nah, bro. Don't even worry, bro.
It's fine, dude. It's not even a lot of money. It's not even a big deal, dude.
Oh, bro, XQC fucking kills me, dog.
That's who I was watching when you called me.
Swear.
To ask if when I was heading over.
Oh, okay.
I was finishing a video of his, and I was like, just vibing.
That man fucking kills me, bro.
It's funny.
Yeah, the clips of him cleaning his room finally. It's crazy. But anyway,
But
the same person who swatted Aiden has swatted Kai and Speed. Within I think it was like a 3-month span.
Super illegal one.
Yeah,
and they have a really hard time tracking it for some reason.
Yeah, but then the crazy part about it is Aiden ended up getting into a Discord call with the dude who swatted him. Right? Because he was finally like, all right, bro, like we gotta fucking settle this, like whoever you are. So he ends up finding the person. He's like, bro, why the fuck do you keep on swatting me? He was like, honestly, bro, he was like, because you really, you egoed me when you didn't answer one of my DMs. Like, it was a really important, like, thing to me, yada, yada. He was like, so...
Fuck you.
Yeah, that was kind of your revenge. He was like, I'm basically going to scare the absolute shit out of you and have somebody come bust down your door. And he was like, yeah, so I did that. And then he was like, obviously, like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, that shit's not funny, bro. Like, you don't even know. He was like, bro, like, you didn't even die, bro. Like, he's like, bro, my homie my security guard has guns on him. Like, we could have died. Like, they pulled guns on us. He was like, yeah, but you didn't, bro. And everyone in chat is like, bro, like, that's like actually like
psycho shit.
Yeah, like, you're crazy, bro, because people create like I forgot the word for it. What's that relationship?
Parasocial.
Yeah. People create.
Favorite.
Yeah, people create that fucking relationship in their head where they're like, oh, like this is a normal ass dude. Like he should be able to answer this, yada yada, this and that. And then they get
not even just that, but it's like we're homies.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like like I'm part of his like gang, like yada yada, this and that.
Gang.
You know, like Kai calls his fans the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, obviously, if someone gets to the point where, oh, I'm part of the mafia, like, yada, yada, I'm part of AMP, like, yada, yada, this and that, like, because I'm a big fan, blah, blah, blah. And then, oh, he didn't notice me, like, he doesn't care, blah, 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 this and that. And then ends up swatting somebody and ends up, like,
which
risking their...
insane.
Yeah, like, that's the level you jump to. Is like, all right, bet, like, you don't want to notice me, like, I'm going to just...
It's also crazy because of the amount of deaths that have happened to people in the past like couple years that have been like very public.
Bro, like that shit to me just blows my mind. And the fact that like this dude isn't in jail yet, you know what I mean? Because like obviously like Aiden's come to,
they know who it is.
Yeah, like you can run the whole voice pattern, yada yada, do what you got to do to like get the, but like they should be punished. You know what I mean? Because I mean there was 6 days ago there was a picture that Aiden posted on Twitter of like him. Of like getting like almost like an outside shot of like the window outside looking at the bottom, and there's like 3 SWAT cars lined up, and he's like, bro, he's like, I'm getting swatted again, thanks guys. And it went viral, bro. That's like, imagine having SWAT ARs in your face like 3 or 4 times in 1 month.
What's crazy is also that they are supposed to have things like resources basically that tell you like, hey, this house has been called on multiple times, and I
was just about to say. So you would think the cops would be like,
they do. They have a like call before line of like, hey, does this person still live here? Or like, hey, this is like we have Ludwig's personal phone number. Like we call him and be like, hey, you still live at this house? And then he goes, yes, I am there currently. I am live. And then they go, okay, we're not coming.
Imagine getting that call on fucking stream where people are like, bro, who tried to fucking ruin my life again?
Yeah, because, bullshit.
But yeah, nonetheless, don't be a piece of shit. Don't swat nobody. It kind of blows my mind that someone can be that evil and like not have any like remorse. You know what I mean? Like, I know obviously there's worse people, but like to have you just basically like take the energy and time out of your day to go call 911 and SWAT and be like, yo, bomb threat or yada yada.
This person got hostages.
Yeah, like, come up with this whole ass story and like do the whole thing. Like, that's so much, bro. Like, go be a somebody. Not that way though. You know what I mean? Fuck. But yeah, that's my check-in.
I am.
Sheesh.
I wanted to talk about fighting to make my dreams real, which kind of relates to our main topic. But
facts. Me
and Brendan were talking a little bit beforehand because there's this project that I've kind of been suiting up and working on.
And it's called... No, I'm just playing.
Oh, my whole heart just like dropped my stomach. I was like, damn. I mean, I could edit it out, so it didn't matter, but it was like,
It was like just the fact that like I was just about to like drop it.
I was like, damn, that's fucked. But it's a project that I'm really excited about, and I talked a little bit about it on stream, without giving any details away. But yeah, because I'm keeping it super close to my chest until it's basically like set in motion, ready to be announced. Because I think it's something that would be really cool, and I want it to like.
Which is why I don't know why. Which is why I don't know why he told me. I'm about to just go tell everybody.
Shut up. But
I'm about to sell this information to the fucking FBI.
With that though, like a lot of what I've been doing lately, even last night, I was like planning some big stuff out last night with a couple of friends, and it was just like lately I've been fighting really hard to like try and make the things that I've wanted or been saying that I need, or like this is what my goal is, what my dream is, what I'm trying to achieve. I've been trying to fight really hard to make those things happen. And it's kind of almost like I've honed in on like, what are the parts that I enjoy the most about these things? Like, I love streaming. I love whenever I have people in chat and I'm interacting with them. That's like awesome. I love that. I like seeing a bigger number, better person, you know? I like seeing number go up. But, you know, like...
I like number up.
I like, you know, commenting, like replying to comments and stuff. Editing it, I enjoy parts of it, you know? And I'm starting to figure out of like, okay, YouTube video wise, like, what do I want to make? How am I going to make it? Where do I go? How do I get there?
It has been pretty cool because I'll like I'll get obviously the notification like RQ posted a TikTok, so I'll go in and like look, and if I haven't checked it in a while or if I haven't like clicked it yet, and I go and like some people I've already seen, I've seen like some comments that are like, bro, y'all gotta go check your stream out. Like obviously these random ass people are like, I was like, yo, it's fucking tight, you know what I mean?
And you know, like it's so weird because I feel like whenever you joined RG, there was this moment for me of like, your shit blasted up.
Yeah.
And like I'm on that slow crawl. And obviously, you know, I made the choice to not join them because you gave me the option of like, hey, I will try to get you in if you want.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, no, I'm good. And so I feel like I've dealt with for a little while like losing motivation because I was like, damn, like all my homies skyrocketed up, shot up.
Yeah.
And I'm slow crawling. But I think that there's a part of me that's realized like slow crawl is part of it, but you have to put in the other half, which is like, I need to just keep posting TikToks because I need my TikTok to grow. And then, you know, I need to start posting YouTube videos because I need the YouTube to grow. And then all of that will make the stream go, and the stream growing will make the YouTube grow, and everything will cycle basically. And, you know, like the podcast, like I need the podcast to grow because that'll make the stream grow and the YouTube to grow. And then that'll circle back to the podcast growing too. And, you know, it's like this cycle of if I want these dreams to come true, if I want these things that I've been trying so hard and saying for so long that I want to achieve and that I want my life to be, then like I gotta get in there deep, you know, I gotta start.
Get in there.
Yeah, you know, I gotta start like putting a lot of time and love into these things. And it's something that I've realized of like, okay, let's reset. Like, I take 2 days and I'm like, okay, I need to like, this is the days that I'm going to stream, figure out what I'm streaming, figure out what I want to stream, you know, like figure out, have some sort of plan, and then be like, okay, these uploads, like what am I uploading? How am I going to do it? What do I want to make? What are the videos I'm trying to, you know, maintain, stuff like that. And so it's just been, and then something that I didn't realize would be such a problem was like balancing social life between also maintaining and trying to achieve those dreams. Because there's times where like I need to start saying no to doing social activities because if I want this to work, I have to, you know, which I think is something that I've always really struggled with. Is I will say yes to social activities. I'll keep doing stuff. And so I stop making progress on certain things. So I think that it's so interesting to start to find of like, okay, what do I want to achieve? and everything, and I've really started to kind of like put my toes in the sand and like kick
toes
my
in the water and some sand, you know,
some Zach Brown band,
fucking banger.
But you know, and dig my heels into the dirt and start
getting to work,
start pushing,
getting muddy, yeah.
But
line that shit up, you know. You ever see that TikTok? No. Sad.
But along the lines of trying to, you know, achieve those dreams, trying to make something work, let's dive into our main topic: generating purpose.
Crying in the club.
So, Brendan, do we want to talk about why we're talking about this, or
sure? So as of recently, I just felt very ¿cómo se dice? The timing of it, crazy. How would you? Literally, I guess just figuring out what I'm like.
Unmotivated.
Yeah, like what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm working for my pops. And I'm just trying to take a load like off his back. Just cause my dad's a very OG type of guy. Works very hard. Obviously provides for the family. If you know, obviously like it's kind of just self-explanatory. Like you just know by those type of people. You can kind of just tell. But obviously just trying to like, I put myself working under him so that way I could try to help him out. And just, it also gives me like a consistent job and like consistent money and stuff like that as I try and figure my own shit out. And I think with that is like, I always kept telling myself, like for the past, I would say like year, maybe 2 years, I kept telling myself like, oh, I'm going to start this. Like I have so many ideas for this. Like I want to do this. I want to do that, yada, yada, this and that. And I kept trying a bunch of different things. You know, I was talking to Jaxon beforehand. Like it took, you know, a girl to break my heart for me to start realizing like, hey bro, you should probably start working out. Like, you know, you don't really, you know, look at yourself the same way like that you should, you know what I mean? And that's usually how everyone's story is when it comes to like, you know, their working out progress and like, oh yeah, like I got my heart broken, yada, yada. It is a good motivating tool, but like off rip, like you should just be motivated to like be confident in who you are. You know what I mean? And that kind of like perspective on it is kind of like how I should start looking at everything. Like I've always waited for like a outstanding reason to go and do something or like to make a huge change in my life or to try and like, oh, like I'm starting to do this because this happened to me or, you know, because this is this. And I've always had to have a reason or like a motivating factor into why I do something rather than just like being able to like, yo, I want to do this. I'm gonna set my mind to it and do it. And I think at this point, it's like I've gotten to a point where it's like, all right, bro, like I have to create that mindset and I have to create this work ethic because in my mind, it's just kind of like I'm just wasting life. You know what I mean? Like I'm just wasting my time. Like I know I have so much potential to do shit and I know I have all this like personality and fucking just like homies that I have and like the people I'm surrounded by. Like I know I have a lot that I can't do. You know what I mean? And I haven't taken the time to actually call myself out on my own bullshit and like really take care of my own, like it starts like even like I told Jaxon before we started recording, like I have to take care of my area and like we've been talking about creating a new set and more of just like a vibe where we can like really feel at home. You know what I mean? In that way, like even from a viewer standpoint, you feel like you're just chilling with us. You know what I mean? And for me, that starts with me creating the type of space that I want to work in. And, you know, if you look at it, you know, most videos when it comes to like, you know, your creative workspace, they always tell you like your room is your brain, essentially. So if you have a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of trash laying around and a bunch of shit scattered around like I'm looking at right now in my room, it's probably how my brain is, which is 100% true. My thoughts are completely scattered. My motivation is all over the place, up and down. And it's just filled with junk. You know what I mean? So it's time for me to start making that step forward and continuously stepping forward, because the way I told Jaxon is like, I always feel like I take a couple steps forward and then kicking myself backwards. And I know that there's plenty of people who always feel like, every 2 steps you take forward, it's always 3 back. You know what I mean? And I guess today I kind of just want to talk about like how I'm going to try and combat that. You know what I mean? And like what is going to be moving forward, like my game plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so let's talk about floating. What is floating? What does it mean to be kind of floating?
To be floating is, for me right now, to kind of just be in limbo. And I guess limbo to anybody, like you, if you've ever watched any movies or like, obviously, I guess just research death and afterlife and all that. Limbo is kind of just like the in-between. The nothingness. You know what I mean? And that's where I kind of feel like I'm at. Like, I feel like I'm at a very blank, gray area.
Me and Jarek actually talked about this when he was down here. We call it the wandering period.
Yeah, bro, and this shit sucks. Because if you're somebody who, even like me and you, like, we never stop thinking. We never stop thinking about, like, the shit we want to do and, like, the shit that could be done, the shit we haven't done, the shit we should have done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're always just, like, thinking about shit. You know? So, yeah, I would say that's kind of like floating.
I think that floating can lead to a lot of, like, really detrimental mindsets also. Or the wander period, whatever you want to call it, it can lead to this point of almost like inaction. Because that's usually what leads to it, is that you feel like you aren't accomplishing the things, or like you don't know how to start with anything that you've wanted to do, or you've lost kind of passion or drive, or you don't know what your next goal or dream is, right? That's usually what causes the wander period or the floating, whether it be, it's just demotivation, you have too many things that you've said you want to do, and so you kind of can't focus on any of them, and so you're lost, or like you get broken up with, whatever it might be that leads to this point. I think it can cause also a lot of self-pity, to where you feel sorry for yourself instead of trying to change it. You end up in this like point where you're like, I should be better, and I'm mad that I'm not better, but also I'm sad that I'm not better.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do anything about it, which is definitely where I was at for a minute, where I was like, I know where I could be and where I should be and what I have to do to get there. And then it was like, I'm about to do it, and then I was just like, eh.
How do you get out of that? What do you think is what do you tell people who are in that point, or you can see that are at that point? How do you get them out of that? How do you get them to kind of wake up and
at some point
activate?
You have to be so fed up with being stagnant. You have, like, the way I wish I could really put into words the way I beat myself up in my head about being stagnant, and like the fight that I have going on within my head constantly about the shit I should be doing versus what I actually do is like insane. It's literally like it's a tear in my head, to be honest with you. You know, like it's like there's always a war going on in my head, and it's finally like to a point where like one side has to give, and I really, really need it to be the side that wants me to go and be successful and wants to go beat somebody. You know what I mean? Because like I would hate to let everybody in my life down who's ever told me like, bro, you're meant to do great things. You know what I mean? Like, I've had too many people come up to me and tell me like, bro, when you speak, people listen. Like, you carry something that most people don't. You know what I mean? And it's like, I have to go do something with it. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, and even if I don't, like, if I don't try, I'm wasting something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think that kind of circles to calling yourself out, which is usually like a really good jumping point, or a really good point of like a point of like, this is where things can pivot. But there's also a line that you have to cross, which is, when are you calling yourself out and when are you just beating yourself up? And what's the thing that switches? So what do you feel like a good form of calling yourself out is, or a way to make you go like, okay, like...
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people who, like, obviously, like you said, like, there's a difference between shitting on yourself and then trying to better yourself. Because, like, for me, like, there was a time where I was just bringing myself down mentally and, like, emotionally, just to a point where I was, like, literally bullying myself in my head. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, like, you're disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing type shit. Like, you gotta be like, there's a lot of people who get to that point. And you know what I mean? Like, there's some people who have disorders for shit like that. You know what I mean? And that's very hard to get around and that's very hard to overcome. And I can't speak on that end because I've never experienced from a disorder's end. Like having to go with something that obviously like you're diagnosed with, like, yo, you have this, you know what I mean? And whether it be like, I know a lot of people deal with body dysmorphia, and that shit is like, I've heard from people who, you know, deal with it and go, like, obviously go through life with it. And like, that is terrifying. You know what I mean? To think that you're one way and then to be seen another way, you know what I mean? Essentially is crazy. And you know, to the people who overcome it, it has like shout out to y'all, you know what I mean? And then there's people who obviously struggle with it on a daily. But from my standpoint, when it comes to like just kind of pulling myself out of like beating myself up, it's just really the way you talk to yourself. Because if you don't talk to yourself a certain way and hold a certain kind of respect for yourself, you can't expect anybody else to. And that's just with everything else in life, you know what I mean? But if I think in my head that I'm this type of person and I know that I want to be, you know, this certain somebody, I'm the first person I have to start treating like it. You know what I mean? So if I know I want to be like Big Dog one day and I want to be top dog and, you know, be this built fucking, you know, money making fucking dude, I have to start like treating myself as if, but I also have to start talking to myself as if I was that. Those type of people always are like
their number one fan.
Yeah, but in an encouraging way, they cut themselves down to rebuild themselves, but in an encouraging way. It's like, all right, bro, like, you know, you shouldn't be doing that type shit. Like, they know how to make the right from wrong decisions.
Yeah, I think that there's a poison that is in encouraging and discouraging yourself that you kind of have to balance, because while you can definitely rep your shit, you know, be your number one fan, you also need to make sure that you are leveling yourself out. And if you fucked up, or if like you say, for example, like you go into playing like your sport or whatever it is, a competition, whatever it might be, and you're like, I know I'm hot shit at this. I know I'm good. I know that. And then like you start telling yourself, I'm the fucking best. Like, I'm going to be the best. Like, there's no one that can stop me, whatever. Right. And then you get so complacent by telling yourself that you aren't actually making any progress, or you're kind of just like, you're, you know, phoning it in every time. And it's very clear that you're not.
Yeah.
But you lie to yourself so hard that it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you already started to believe it before it came true.
Yeah. You know, you kind of have to dance that line. And I think that that's something that's really hard for a lot of people to navigate. It's hard for people in general to just rep themselves and try and like be their number one supporter. I feel like especially nowadays, you see so many people doing so many things that it's so easy to fall victim to yourself and being like, I could never be that. You know, or like, everyone is so good at this. There's so many people who are good at this. I'm like, it's always been that way. There's always been a million other people who are doing exactly what you're doing or are better than you at this thing you're doing. But how dedicated are you to being the person that they look at now and go, fuck, dude, I can't be that. You know?
Yeah. Oh, man. That shit is absolutely insane. There's a lot that goes into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's something that whenever I kind of struggle with this, or that I have struggled with this, and something I've seen other people kind of utilize, is having someone to check you, of being like, hey dude, the fuck? You know, having somebody who isn't berating you, but is pushing you just to your limit. You know, just to that point of like, this dude's kind of fucking annoying me, but like, you're not mad. You're just kind of like...
See, but I want to be like that for myself, though. Like,
but you can't always be.
I feel like
there's no way for your self-drive to be so unstoppable all the time that you don't have to have somebody every now and then, at the least, be like, hey, dude, the fuck you doing?
I feel you.
Because I guarantee you talk to any top athlete, you talk to any top anything, and
did you ever like pay attention to Mike Tyson's career?
Yeah.
Nobody told that man shit.
I think that's an outlier.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, because he did a lot of fucked up shit. Because that man, because nobody ever told him anything.
If you surround yourself with only yes men,
you're going to get yourself in a very, very...
Not only are you going to get yourself in fuck situations, it's the same reason why they tell writers to always have an editor that is not them. And it's because, or a publisher that proofreads, because there's guaranteed to be something in there that is just not fitting. It doesn't fit the story. It makes it clunky. It's fucked up. Yeah. Whatever, you know? You are always going to inevitably make decisions that you're like, shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have done that. Shit. That happens to me. Happens to everybody. And if you surround yourself with only yes men, you are more likely to end up stagnant and floating, because you are just like, you say, you know what? I think that I'm hot shit. And I think that I could beat so-and-so in a fight. I think I could beat Mike Tyson in a fight.
And then you go and get your ass whipped.
And because everybody around you is like, yeah, dude. And you're like, I don't even need to work out. I don't even need to prep. And they're like, yeah, dude, you've got this. Not one of these motherfuckers is ever going to tell you, hey, dude,
listen,
get your head on. Yeah. You're going to end up without an ear and in a coma.
Yeah. Literally. Literally.
Yeah.
Literally, bro.
So have somebody, at least one person who you can reliably look at and be like, and you know that if you talk to them, if they see you doing something, if you need to be checked, they will kind of be like, hey, bud.
Little tap on the ass.
Where's this at? Yeah, like, where's your love? Where's your effort? And, you know, I think that comes also with establishing a line of like, what is your limit? What are you comfortable with? You know? Don't be afraid to have somebody tell you that you're wrong. It's needed. If you're floating, you are already wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
Hella. Yeah, those people who keep you in check, those are the real homies, dog. The people who can look at you and tell you like, hey, dog, get your shit together, bro. What are you doing? You know, but in like a loving manner. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a difference between like, hey, bro, you're fucking up and you're a piece of shit, and then like, hey, dog, I love you and you should get your shit together.
When it comes to getting your shit together and getting out of floating, and it's something we touched on a little bit about, how do you set consistency? Because we talked about how one of the best ways is forming some sort of like consistency in your life, something that you're working towards, whatever it may be. How do you start setting consistency?
Something for me,
or what is a good form?
Something for me is like we had talked about it. Like my game plan is like, first off, coming up with the game plan. And I would say start easy, bro. Like it's all about accomplishing something. Our brains need like dopamine. You know what I mean? And we get little spurts of it when we
start your day off with a win.
Yeah, bro. Like you really, if you accomplish something, no matter how small it is, you automatically get this like fire. That's like, all right, bro. Like, all right, we're starting off on a hot note. You know what I mean? Like we're starting off hot. Like let's go do this shit. You know what I mean? Like I've had the same fucking bag of clothes sitting here that belongs to Goodwill for like 6 months. You know what I mean? Like I know I need to go do that. You know what I mean? Because that's just taking up space, and it's been there for so long. Like take care of little things. If you have room in your closets, or if you have shit in spaces that should not be there, like either throw it out, get rid of it, sell it, do what you need to do. Clean your area. Like I said earlier in the episode, like your room is your brain. So to start out, like wherever your creative area is, like clean that shit out, make it all pretty and do what you want. Like I know we were talking about getting lights, but I want to get like the little LED panels as well. They're just stupid expensive for no fucking reason.
Depends on which panels you're talking about.
Like the ones, they come in like a pack of 3. They're like $95.
You'll show me later.
But yeah, like I want to get like, but I kind of want to do like a whole, like, I don't know about a whole wall, because that'd be a lot of money. I've seen somebody do a whole wall, and the way it reacts with each other is so fucking cool. But I want like my space to like look like my space. Like I want someone to come into my room and be like, oh yeah, this shit is hard. Like this shit is tight as fuck. You know what I mean? Because like I want to come into my room and be like, oh, I'm home. You know what I mean? Like I'm good here. Like this is my area. You know? And I kind of already have like a game plan for it and what I want to do and shit like that. But it's just like, obviously I need monies. But yeah, come slowly in the new year. I'll probably slowly acquire my shits, do what I need to do. But start small, bro. Start small. Make your bed every morning. Clean your area. Fucking fold your laundry. Do your laundry. Brush your teeth. If you don't do that, brush your teeth. Make sure you're brushing your teeth. Hygiene, baby.
One thing that really works for me is, and this only really helped whenever I got more into fashion, but it's like having an outfit for the day. Being happy in like the clothes that I'm going to be wearing. There's times where like I'm home all day. I know I'm home all day, but I'll put on jeans, a nice shirt, and some shoes.
Just because you feel good.
Because it makes me feel I'm like, I've gotten ready. I've accomplished. I can now go out if I want to, even though I know I'm spending all day editing. I'm spending all day streaming. Like, but I'm like, that's my accomplishment.
Yeah.
That's my win for myself, is like I got dressed. I got in an outfit that made me feel good and happy. I look in the mirror. I'm like, yes, that's that fucker guy.
That's that fucking guy.
Yeah. So, you know, find that. If it's going to the gym when you wake up or whatever it is, have that set of like, I wake up and I am getting a win, or have just, even if it's later in the day, you know, like have something that you look at and you can be like, this is what I'm going to do every day. This is what I'm going to do every other day. And be like, this is now my win. This is where it starts. One thing that I was telling Brendan about is don't use probablys or maybes or I guesses. You use definites. You
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Or I will do this.
I think I'll do this. I probably am going to do that. Whenever, you know, whatever it might be, I will do this. This is what I'm doing. Like, use definites. You confirm to yourself that this is what is happening next.
Hella.
We've already kind of tippy-tapped on this, but it is the idea of, like, it's okay to be lost. It's okay to kind of wander and not know where you're going, especially if you're just kind of in a weird spot, but you have to also be willing to reset, be willing to acknowledge that there's something that you need to do, whatever it might be, even if that's literally like, I feel nothing. I feel like I'm lost. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like I don't have any drive, any purpose. So I'm just going to go explore. Like I'm just going to go travel for a couple months. If you got the money to do that, if you can do that, like do it. Fuck it.
That's the dream, bro.
Like, you know, if that's what gets you in a spot, like find what it is next for you to start waking up, you know? For some people, it's, I need to get everything in order and like whatever to do my next thing. Or it's for some people, it's like, I need to go do something that breaks the status quo for me to put myself back in, okay, now let's get everything sorted. Let's make this work. You know?
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like obviously we make it sound easier.
Everything is easier said than done.
Yeah. And it's always hard pinpointing like a starting point for people, like for other people, or like giving advice to like where to start for other people. Cause like obviously we don't know everybody's situation. Which is why like I tried to say like start with the easiest things when it comes to accomplishing shit, and like just like trying to get a positive like kind of flame going. And like a thing I told Jaxon is like write down your goals, write down like what you're trying to accomplish, what it looks like. And it's something that I really need to do. And what I should start doing, and just start, like tape it up somewhere where like I told him that everywhere I walk into, I want to be able to see like what I'm supposed to be focusing on.
I used to have it when I was really, really depressed and like just I wasn't happy with anything in my life. I had a whiteboard, and this is what I've told other people to do. Like one of my roommates did it for a long while. He doesn't do it as much anymore from what I've seen, but he's gotten a lot better also. But it's, you take a couple columns and you basically write down, this is something that I want to be better at. This is something that I'm proud of. And then like, this is something that I need to change or whatever it is. You know, like two of those things are the same. So one of them was different. I've changed it a couple times to fit whatever I needed. But so the third column was always like, it was something I'm proud of today. Something I'm going to change today. And then like something I don't like about myself. Something like that. It was, you know, it's trying to like admittance to yourself, mm-hmm. and kind of like come to terms with things that you don't like that you can change or whatever, you know? And then at the bottom would be, what is my goal for either this month or within the next 3 months of like my short-term goal. And then it was, what is my goal within this year or my long-term goal? And just like having that visualization that you are changing every single day. So you're forced to look at it because you're changing every single day, you know, is something that can be really impactful.
I had where I was about to like bounce off where you just ended off, and it was just like as I was about to speak, it was just like
gone.
Yeah, bro. It was like when the poop's about to come out, and then it just like,
and then somebody knocks on the door.
Yeah, and then it's like oh man. No, but definitely obviously like presenting your goals in front of you 24/7. Put it in your notes. I'm probably going to put mine in my notes, screenshot it, put it as my lock screen. So that way every time I go to open my phone, I'm like, stay focused, bro.
Have people on your side also. Have people who will be by you and care. Not just the person who's trying to motivate you.
Yeah, what he said, bro. Because I was trying to come to this point of like going ghost and just cutting everybody off. And so far all my homies are like, you're an idiot.
There's nothing worse than floating and kind of feeling lost and wandering, and then also being like, I'm also alone, you know?
Yeah, I was definitely pushing myself towards being alone, and it's like, if you're one of those people who like do that, luckily I'm very thankful and very fortunate enough to have people who give a fuck about me. Some people aren't that fortunate, and if you aren't, I'm very sorry.
People are out there though.
There is somebody out there who's going through the same thing. I definitely am. We definitely put our socials in a link. If you ever need somebody to talk to, by all means, fucking hit me up. But like the people who aren't as fortunate as I am, as cliche and fucking goofy as it sounds, bro, but like you got to be there for yourself at the end of the day.
It gets better.
Yeah, you got to hold on to like the fact of like, it's going to get better. I'm going to get through this. And like, it's hard. I always feel bad just trying to tell people like that. Or like whenever I hear it, like people are always like, oh, like it's going to get better. Like people hate hearing that. And I understand why.
When you're in that situation, it makes you so angry.
Yeah, because it's like, bro, like, why isn't it just better now? Like, why am I going through
I don't
this?
think it's even necessarily just that. It's also the, like, it makes you feel like they don't understand.
Yeah, or like they don't care.
Yeah. But in reality, sometimes what I've learned to say, like, is instead of, like, it gets better, is like, yeah, it sucks.
Life's like a roller coaster.
And like, that's also not great, but also, at the end of the day, would you rather me sit here and tell you, like, hey, it'll get better, it's okay, like, just breathe, or for me to be like, you're right, it does suck?
I feel like I want somebody to look at me and be like, life's like a box of chocolates.
Let's come up.
You wouldn't like if someone hit you with that?
Brendan.
Actually?
Brendan.
For real?
Brendan.
I think
it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it has been. You're welcome, guys. I haven't talked about my Giants, but today I'm going to talk about my Giants. I think we lost Odell. I'm not going to lie to you. We were like this close to signing Odell Beckham back to the Giants, and then he was caught going to the Mavericks game, the Dallas Mavericks game, with two Cowboys players. Yeah, like two of their like young stars. Yeah, and like everyone was like, "Oh,
tough.
He's going to Dallas." And I really hope he pulls like a gotcha, bitch, and then comes back home. And he was just kicking it with the homies to see what's up. But I don't know, man. It kind of looked rough. But I would love for we need a wide receiver so bad. Darius Slayton. You know, you show spurts, bro, but that drop was
no bueno.
Dude, both hands round the ball in front of his face as he's coming down, juggles it out.
What's your guys' record now?
6-5, 7-4, 7-5, something like that. I think we're like 7-5. Yeah. Oh no, we tied 7-4-1. I'm sorry, which is basically just as bad as a fucking L. Yeah, and it was to the Commanders.
Dude, why? What is happening?
They've been playing some good ball.
We play you next week. This week, I guess, technically saying.
Yeah, we're about to fuck you up, bitch. We should go to a bar and go watch it. You know, there's an Eagles bar.
Oh.
In like Scottsdale, Tempe area.
Interesting.
Like full Eagles out.
I don't know if I care that much to go there. It's a drive.
Yeah, because you're a fake fucking fan.
No, I just don't really watch football.
No, you're a fake fucking fan. Regardless, I hope we keep Saquon too. Because if we don't, we better get some fucking. We're rebuilding.
Yeah.
You know, but I think Coach Dabble, I think he's got it. I think he's got the thing. And hopefully we keep Wink, our defensive coordinator. That motherfucker is a genius.
These are fucking gamer tags. These are fake names.
His last name's Winkerdale.
That's a tough name.
Nah, he's a fucking pimp.
It's a tough name.
You're tough.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, man. What are you coming up for, bitch?
Talk about game of the year. It's that time of year where the video games are being reviewed and people are making judgments. So I was looking at the game of the year stuff, and you know what I realized? There's a whole lot of games that came out this year that I did not think came out this year.
Yeah, like what?
You know Horizon Zero Dawn, the new one?
No.
That came out this year.
Was it a good game?
Yeah. Well,
did you play it?
It's pretty all right.
Did you play it?
No.
Oh.
No.
What else came out?
Dude, it was...
Put him on the spot. What else came out?
It was a big-ass game. I think Legends Arceus was this year, technically. Legends Arceus was this year.
League of Legends?
No, Pokemon.
Oh,
Pokemon Legends Arceus came out this year. Also Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet's bad. But Legends Arceus came out this year. Also wild.
Damn, hot take.
Not a hot take. Everyone agrees it's awful.
Oh, that's tough. My brother likes it.
Yeah, but it's bad. That's the whole bit, is that like Pokemon fans do this thing where we always buy the game and we're like, no, the game's a piece of shit. And then they're like, so you shouldn't buy it. And he's like, no, I love it. It's great.
Oh, so us with Apex.
But I haven't bought it.
Us, Apex, EA, basically.
Yes, but I haven't bought it, and I'm not going to.
Good for you.
I can't support it. Anyway.
Can't do it.
That came out this year. What else? Modern Warfare came out this year, which is not surprising. It's a very relevant game currently.
And that campaign was fucking gnarly.
Yeah. It was gnarly. There was one game that we were talking about that I was like, that fucking came out this year, and I can't remember what it is now. It was really upsetting.
Overwatch 2 came out.
Yeah, but I know about that one. Overwatch 2 came out this year.
What came out this year?
God of War came out, which was... that game's nutty. I'm going to literally look it up because... God of War is... Elden Ring came out this year.
Oh.
Which is fucking insane.
Yeah. I played that for a whole 10 minutes.
Yeah. Splatoon 3 came out this year.
Don't know what the fuck that is.
Stray came out this year.
Don't know what the fuck that is.
Cult of the Lamb was this year, but that's kind of new to where it's pretty relevant. That's most of it. That was big hitters. Tiny Tina came out this year, which is also wild.
Wow, that feels like so long ago.
That's my point. That's how I feel about a lot of the games right now, is that there's some of them that we're talking about.
It's crazy that it's already the end of 2022.
Yep. It's wild. But anyway, Game of the Year is always super exciting, but always really weird because it's not like anything really happens. It's more just like a little hype event of oh, what do you guys think the Game of the Year was? What are your hits?
Some hot takes.
Yeah, I think that Elden Ring was really cool and did a lot of really awesome things for the industry and for From Software. But I don't know if it's a Game of the Year.
Would you take God of War over it?
Yeah, any day.
Would you take God of War as Game of the Year?
Okay, so I'm literally right there. I'm 100% almost to 100% on it. I've already beat the game and everything, and I think that it's phenomenal. I think it is an amazing game. I think it is best story of the year. But I don't know what else would be Game of the Year is my problem, because I don't think Elden Ring necessarily deserves it. I think
they're going to give it to COD. I'm going to be honest with you.
I think Elden Ring's going to take it.
Over COD?
Yeah.
Really?
Almost positive. I think Elden Ring will probably take Game of the Year. I think God of War will win Story of the Year probably.
Over... Oh, yeah, probably.
Yep. And then I think COD might win Best Graphics.
Yeah, because them graphics were fucking insane, dude.
And I think that's kind of how to break down.
I think Sleeper Story, they might give it to COD's campaign.
I don't think they will. I think you're wrong.
Would you lose your shit if they did?
I probably would.
I know you would. That's why I just want to. I wanted to say that literally just to piss you off.
But anyway, come back in a couple weeks when those are out, I guess, and I'll tell you about how I feel about the announcements.
Results.
Yeah, for Game of the Year. It's always super interesting for me, as someone who spent a lot of time in the game industry and learning about it and everything and studying it and still kind of actively being in it. It's so interesting to see what that's like and how people feel and what the industry is like. And it's a really good indicator of where the industry is heading also.
Hella.
But anyway.
Apex is still my Game of the Year. I stayed true to my fucking cancer. Hell yeah.
Brendan, where can they find you?
You can't. I'm lost.
Like Frank Ocean.
You can find me at GillerB420 on Instagram and Twitter, and KillerB Dabs on TikTok. Where can they find you?
You can find me at ArcHugh on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter.
And you can find us at Coming Up for Air on Instagram and Up for Aircast on Twitter and TikTok.
If you like the content, make sure to subscribe, follow the podcast, all that stuff. Rate it and like it, please. Leave a review. We're so cool. We love you. Form
Later, boo
parasocial
thing.
relationships.
Don't be a shitty ass human being, bitch.
See you next Wednesday.